Alright guys, we're going to start in about 2 minutes here. What's up, Akul? What's up, Oscar? What's up, Evan? Thanks so much for the kind words. Alright, what is up? Excuse me. What is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. Thank you so much for joining me on this voluptuous Sunday morning. Voluptuous. Funny word. Alright, guys, let's get right into it. Don't want to keep you waiting too long. So right now for Bitcoin, there's a few obvious. I mean, we could start with the, the 4-day right here, red dot, red X after it. I mean, a lot of these, it would probably either end up like either something like this, and then you come up some more, or something like this, where you just come straight down, and that gave us about a 52% correction. If we come down 52%, that's 12K. You get the 400 weekly moving average around 13K. Those are big areas that coincide with a lot of people's predictions between 10 to 14K. I think that's a little bit more likely given that September 1 is historically a bad month. I know some people think that September could be a little bit better. This year, I know Tom Crown tweeted about it. So there is an argument to be made. There's always going to be a bullish and bearish case. I just think based on what I'm looking at, definitely the probability of being bearish is higher. This time could be different. And a few other reasons that I want to show you why that could be is, well, number one, right here, your money flow crossover into the red and the VWAP curving downward. Now, here you would make the argument, you already curved. When you got into the red, you already hit the bottom. However, if we go back to, 2015, look, before the red, that was signal of our last capitulation, wick down 58% downward. Now, that was a little bit, market cap was much smaller, and we were at, $300. I think 50% down would be probably, at least in the short, the most you'd come down within the next month, shy of some crazy event happening, a black swan event. I'd be very surprised if you come below, 10K or 12K in the next month. Now, the possibility of going into a major recession and going lower, there is that possibility. I don't think it's very likely we go under 10K. I think the odds of that are probably only 10%, if that. Maybe 10, around 10% to actually go below 10K ever again, I'd say. However, you go into a really bad recession, things get really, really rough. There's two things that would happen there. One, there's big utility for Bitcoin, and it goes sky high because of a dollar collapse. Naval Ravikant has talked about this, that possibility on Tim Ferriss's podcast about almost 2 years ago now. And the other possibility is where that doesn't happen, it just goes down with everything else. Then you're looking at potential failed asset, 3K, 5K. There are things that have gone down that far, 95%, and come back though. But I think at that point, I think the odds of going to 3K are probably less than 5%, or 5K less than 5%. But if we do go to that point, that's where you get into failed asset category. Maybe Ethereum takes over in market cap earlier than some may think. Again, I don't think this is likely. I'm just giving you every possible scenario. So moving on here, you got and also the other thing to show you really quickly on the Bitcoin rainbow chart, I think it's going to be more like 20, this area rather than this area here. I don't think we're going to have, this mini bull market, right away. I think it's going to be more like this, where we stay in the blue area some more. And I think what we want to do with this rainbow chart is move it down a little bit, because we didn't get into this area. We'll move it down a few areas. So our green is at around, where is it? Around 10K or something. Move it down a little bit, or blue, excuse me. And then we stay in these areas or whatever, between 20, this area for a few more years, kind of like here. But I do think we ought to move this down a little bit, because we didn't get into the place we wanted to get in. But if you really move this down, like where I kind of want to move it down to, you'd probably 5,000 would be your bright blue. So that would be the case of coming down a lot. Just some food for thought. The thing with these charts, this and the pi cycle bottom theory, these were discovered after we had this bull run, I believe. These are things that are discovered after. There's technical analysis things that are discovered after, so it's kind of tough to, what I'm saying, really pinpoint it. These were discovered after. That's what Crypto and Face and Jason Casper were talking about a month ago. So yeah, also your 6-day curving downward into getting deep into the red here. See, you had to come deeper into the red both of these times, I believe, to really bottom out. See, you came deeper into the red. So if it's kind of like here, this is, I kind of compared this November 2014 to our, little rally here into the green. If you compare it like that, then you're going to see a bottom within 2 months. Could be September. Could definitely be September of that bottom. So yeah. There's also the case where you just form kind of a double bottom here, which is possible. That would kind of coincide with this. You see this red X where you just come down a little bit more, where you're getting close to a bottom. Let's see this would be, I believe, our 50% correction, 47. If you really compare it to right here, now I don't think this would be pretty wild. 63% downward. 63% downward. Around 9K, around that area, 9K, and wow, that would be pretty wild. The likelihood of that happening, other than a wick down there and just coming right back up, is not very high in my opinion. But if it is like 2014, that could be kind of like your wick down to, I know I'm giving a lot of different possibilities, but it's interesting. That would be kind of like your wick down here, and then you're kind of home free after that, basically just straight up for a long time, for about 2 years, 3 years, about. So, yeah, that would be interesting if that does happen. Again, likelihood not too high of going under 10K, at least not in the next month, I think. Things change, though. Obviously, our technical analysis, everything changes. This is never financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet, so don't blindly follow me. But if you are an experienced trader and you know what the hell you're doing, links in the description below for BITGET. Really good promos on right now. I believe even if you already have an account, don't quote me on it though, but if you create a new account, you could still get those promos. You only have to deposit a few small amounts of money. First 10 people to do it get a really good promo, so check that out. I don't believe anyone has signed up just yet. So at least 10 spots available, or at least 9. 10 spots are currently available for that, so link in the description below if you're interested. Moving on to some of these lower time frames, look, you do have confirmed like green dots here on your 16-hour. This one, it could be like this one. Not too much came out of this. You just came back down. That would be the argument for this in hike and issue candle to just come, down. Come down the spiral line even lower. You do have this pocket here, 18. These are all big areas to look for scalp longs, but I'm really just sitting in my Chad shorts with the as long as these high time frames are printing, red dots looking bearish, just mainly looking to do shorts right now. And now the reason why this little rally could be over: one, your 4-hour VWAP is starting to curve down. Two, Your hourly split RSIs, then you got the red dot. That's a bit more bearish, 15-minute coming back into the red. It could go either way. You could have a pump up to here. Things get a little bit volatile. We've been sideways. Pump up to here to kind of wick everybody out. I do think there is a decent amount of people shorting right now, so we could come up definitely to wick them out. I mean, if you look at funding fees on BITGET right now, let's just check what they are. They are negative, mildly negative for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Oh, pretty well for the inverse proportion on inverse perpetual on Bitcoin, pretty highly negative. So I could definitely see, because of that, just enough up to wick everybody out for their shorts and stop out my shorts and profits. So I'll have to look to re-enter around these areas. So that would be big. It is the weekend, so be careful. Weekend trading is always tougher. I feel like it's easier for them to wick everybody out. But yeah, in all likelihood, I think, this most common TA pattern and SLB pattern kind of has already played out, and you're just going to head down. That's my 2 cents on it. So yeah, this area has been proven to be pretty big. Let me set a notification on that high volume node. Once per bar there, and continue anyway. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Let's check the chat, make sure everything is looking okay. What's up, Brian? It is doable, yeah. I mean, Tom Crown's been more bullish on it. A few people have. What other degrees do I use? What do you mean? Yeah, yeah. There are those two big signals, but it didn't work. Those are signals that kind of worked for the top, but didn't work exactly. So I wouldn't trust them completely. And you got to look at fundamentals a little bit. We're going into a recession. S&P 500 looks like it could crash some more. So we got to pay attention to those things. A lot of people see pump in September, which is weird to me because September is historically a bad month. Yeah, Dread Mike. S&P has one more pump. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting. Let's see. Trap more late. Yeah. Turn back to that's why I was saying 22.5K. I could see that, definitely. I don't know if we got the steam to make it that high, but there's definitely a strong argument to make for that, 100%. Now the weekly on ETH, I mean, you're in the red, you're kind of curving back down. This is why I think September could be the bloodbath, because of historic patterns, Bitcoin and Ethereum here. And then same deal with the 3-day. I mean, this, especially if something weird happens with a merge, this could be a major bloodbath. But that's 50% down, would bring us right back down to 1,000. That's a big point. Or you just crash right through that and go to 500 in the next month. That's capitulation, especially if the S&P 500 really comes down a lot. I think that could happen. But if it does well somehow, it does well in September for midterms, those type of things, they're able to, do what they have to do. It could come up. I think that's a little less likely, but sure. Now, right here, kind of almost looks like this one over here. You see what I mean? Came up a little bit, right back down. So that is doable. 4-hour view up, starting to curve down a little bit. And then split RSIs. This is kind of doesn't want to, it's probably going to be sideways for a little bit. I mean, people trading on weekends are probably going to have to wait a while for an outcome. 30-minute has some good curvature. That's probably more your bullish case on the 30-minute, but very neutral on the 15-minute. If we want to look what's going to happen right now, it's probably a little bit more bearish, is choppy, nothing really happening. That's why, trading right now would be, the main trade I would probably look at right now for Bitcoin would be, something like this. Now, the odds of this winning are going to be lower because it is the weekend, but something of this nature, see what I mean? Like something like that. That'd be a good risk-reward ratio if we do come back down. But it is, that would be somewhat of a risky trade now. And because you're hitting this point, you're losing this, point right here. To do a stop loss there would be a little bit, maybe put it above here. But yeah. Do we have any spiral lines around? Not until that area. What would that risk-reward ratio be? 7.6. Yeah. Yeah, to put it above there. Because you're kind of rejecting. You're rejecting off of that point while Yeah, money flow generally coming out in some of these lower time frames. Yeah, crossover there on your 15. Your 30-minute is pretty neutral. Can't really derive too much out of that. But your 4-hour VOS been above the zero line for a good amount, curving down. Your RSI needs to get a little bit more bullish though. But yeah, and then money flow coming down. That's more neutral. It's indicative of sideways. But your real big time frames, like your 4-day, that's confirmed. 5-day printing. I mean, what was the last time we had here? I mean, that was a bloodbath. I mean, usually these two didn't give you too much. This was an interesting time, February with the Super Bowl and everything. But yeah, that was with the war, the Ukraine, back up, then back down, but back up. Yeah, it's a choppy time with this nice W pattern. Didn't amount to too much, but yeah, this confirms in 2 days, 7 hours. Now, the other thing I want to show you guys, this is important to look at right now, Bitcoin dominance, especially on the 3-day confirmed green dot. Let's actually look at it on the 4-day. Okay, so this isn't confirmed in 3 days. 4-day green dot here, deeper anchor wave. Look, I mean, most of these give you something. This one gave you something. This one didn't. December 2021, not too much, came down a little bit, but then it played out. This one gave you something. So if we do, crash downward with everything, I think Bitcoin dominance is going to start to come up. Bitcoin will probably start to outperform Ethereum. I mean, it would make sense because Ethereum's really crushed it the last month, outperformed everything pretty much. But right here, you're hitting kind of a major point. If you look at, 1, 2, a bunch of areas here for Ethereum, Bitcoin, I think we're due to start kind of bleeding against Bitcoin. I would be pretty surprised if we're able to hold this rally and just keep outperforming Bitcoin here. But some people call it boomer coin. Some people have different ideas. If you look at green dots for Ethereum, Bitcoin, they have all, I feel like it's going to be kind of like this one because you see that pattern, blue triangle combined with it, and then you're coming down. I think it could be, something like this. I don't know about 50%, but you could come back down 37% to this channel. Would make sense, especially if we crash down a good amount. I mean, where was May? Well, let's see. Where was May 2021? C come down like this. I mean, that type of crash down a bit, 30% or something. So Carl from the Moon converted a lot of his Ethereum into Bitcoin. I know some of you guys don't like him, but I think he may be right on this one, at least for short term. Long term, I do consider Ethereum blue chip. I do think it has a lot of potential to flip Bitcoin in the next cycle, although everybody's kind of saying that right now. So that's what you got to realize. Everything, all the altcoins are still just continuously bleeding against Ethereum. I mean, if we look at like AVAX is a good example, I would say. It just keeps bleeding, and then weekly red dot, monthly, not monthly yet, but just keeps coming down. So we want to see kind of more strength here. There's some decent curvature, so this would maybe, a double bottom pattern here, but just keeps going. I mean, yeah. And let's see the chat. We have what? You haven't been able to see the screen? Really? Can you guys see it? Tell me if you guys are able to see the screen. It seems fine to me. Everything looks okay on my end. You guys can't see it? There's 76 people watching. You guys can't see the stream? Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you guys. Yeah, this Josh Rodriguez doesn't know. He's got to get some glasses like me. I got to get glasses too. Got to get my eyesight checked. It's not as good as it used to be. Let's see here. Maybe pumping the immersion dump. Yeah. So people are definitely more bullish. Pumping the that would be the main thing. So if we look at the S&P 500 right now, this is the main pattern I've been showing you, and look at money flow up, down that time. Now, right here down. Now, I'm sure you could find areas where it kind of looks like this, where you just came back up and continued up forward. Kind of like maybe I don't know, here, I guess, 84, 1984. Areas like that, I guess. In terms of money flow, I'm trying to find maybe here, something like this, where you come down and then see these RSIs, yeah, that level of the money flow, and then continued forward. That's your bullish argument. I do think it's going to be more, I mean, if you compare it to most similar area, I do think kind of, because you look at this green dot here, and then if we look at the, let me show you guys the 16-day here is pretty good on it. The 16-day, just like this, see? Green dot, then red dot rolled over, green dot, red dot rolled over. So it could be like that. We are pretty, and if you look at kind of how the RSIs are, a little bit similar to over here. If you look at the RSIs as well, right here, kind of similar. They're more together right now, which makes it a bit stronger for the bullish case. But other than that, how is it in 73? Yeah, so we didn't have, yeah, it was interesting. It's weird how they're completely together right now. That don't happen too often. That is interesting. That's very, yeah, because kind of like here, I guess you can make the argument like 1960 and your 16 days. 16 days is a big time frame. But yeah. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Definitely more bullish or bearish on that part for everything. You could make the argument, yeah, no complete bearish divs just yet, but when you're in downtrends, when the trends reverse, things do come the other way. Can we pump up to the 22, this area? Sure, absolutely. I mean, people are gonna take those longs, get in there. Your potential long for that, if you entered somewhere around here, this textbook kind of like trade up to that spiral line, it's doable. I don't know what I would probably be looking at to enter that. Maybe an hourly money flow crossover, but by the time that happens, you might already be at that level. Double top double bottom pattern. I mean, what's the technical target for that? Probably something like this, right? I don't. Not the biggest traditional TA guy, but yeah, you'd probably get up to 22 exactly would be your technical target on that. So yeah. Let's look at AVAX. That's one I've been shorting. Hitting a point right there. Same as everything else. If this kind of repeats, you're going to come down a bit more. There's arguments to make for $3 to $4. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it repeats like this, 86% down from where it is right now would give us that area. 86%. What would that be from? Some of these altcoins have gone down 98. Cardano went down 98% in the last market. $3, $4, $2. It does happen. Not saying it's going to, but it does happen. If you look at let's take a quick look at oil right now. I have a feeling if everything crashes a lot in September, this will come back and we'll see more stagflation, more bad things happening, and this could make one last hurrah up a little bit higher around these areas. Maybe not, but there's a case to be made for that. And I know it was light crude oil. This is, I believe this one. I know Forrest from Crypto Stackers. I had my channel the other day on Friday. He was talking about this. He likes to look at this one. So basically, the more these go up, this is the one. It was under the radar a little bit. Now it's completely on the radar. Front page CNBC. Warren Buffett's buying half of this. It'll probably outperform the SPY for at least the next 5 years, probably, I would guess. So yeah, it'll probably be a bumpy ride though. So the better these do, the worse the economy does, the worse the S&P 500 does, and everything else. So yeah. If we look at, I don't know, how are the meme coins doing? All the way back down, 6 cents, yeah. Just not the strength we wanted to see. It's kind of like repeating this, like everything else, you know what I mean? So it'd bring us down. the bottom would be later. This would be a bottom towards the end of the year. But that does make sense. So just a gradual bleed for a lot of things. No capitulation would be possible to come down to these points towards the end of the year. And that would be the bottom towards the end of the year, early next year that we've seen in the previous last two cycles. That's what BitBoy thinks. I mean, he's been in the game a while. He doesn't get it right every time. It's kind of the Jim Cramer effect because everyone knows who he is, but he does get it right sometimes. So yeah. I'm not too familiar with the hash ribbon buy signal. I'd have to check that out, but the same as the pi cycle bottom. That's been around. Everybody knows about it now. These indicators, pi cycle tops or whatever, they're discovered after they've worked a bunch of times. Nobody knows them. Nobody knew about it, the previous couple times. That's the issue. So that's the main issue with that. Having said that, there's something else I forgot I wanted to say about it. Having said that, the pi cycle top, this is what I wanted to say. The pi cycle top, people kind of knew about it at 65K, but I know Crypto had a video about it or something. I remember watching that, but he was saying it was all nonsense, meant nothing or whatever. That's kind of when no one's really talking about it, that's when they tend to work more. Let's see, the three. That's a good question, another Google user. So I know it's only on regular candles, right? Yeah. I know, yeah, I mean, it's... It could be like this, yeah. I mean, let's look historically what it's given us. I mean, 49%, that would be the same. It almost looks too obvious, though, because everything else kind of points to this area, this 13, 12K, 400 weekly. It's the 400 weekly moving average area. Now, let's go back. Let's see if was there ever other time. Wow. This one, too, brought us down 35%. This one brought us down, probably not too much. When was this? 2016, so long ago. 20%. And then this one, ooh, that's interesting. 59%. So, oh wow, okay. Well, this was 2014. So they all pretty much given us at least 30%. Yeah, I mean, my guess is 50% from it. It does seem like September is going to be that 12K, 13K area. And the S&P 500 is going to come down a good amount as well to, follow it like it's done in recent times pretty well. And then after that, I mean, what I think is if it plays out like this, you're in for a rough, let's see, May 01 all the way to basically, July 02, you're in for a rough another year where you don't bottom out until mid to late 2023. Now, if Bitcoin follows that and we come down farther with the S&P 500, now I don't think this is too likely. I think Bitcoin may start to do better than it, outperform it, after we get to that 10 to 13K area, if that does happen. I think it can start to outperform it, and the S&P could continue to bleed. Could be different if it does follow the S&P 500. That's kind of your argument to come down to 3K. 5K, those rough areas. Now, the likelihood of that, I don't give it any more than a 5% chance. And I don't give the odds of going under 10K more than 10%. I could be wrong here, but that's the way I view it. Now, a lot of people have said 10 to 12K now. A lot of times when a lot of people say a number, what happens? It either doesn't go that low, could go a little bit above it, 13K, 14K. We got the 400 weekly moving average at around 13K. Or it can go even lower, 9K or something, just to wick out everybody who's trying to get in at 10K or something. So those are two areas. If it's like this, 2014, I know it's a lot of scenarios, guys, but it's if it's going Bitcoin. If it's like 2014, this is probably your argument for 9K or something. Wick down and then wick right back up to, that would probably bring you right back up to, if you're at 9, right back up to 15, 20K or something. Maybe double. Could get violent. Could get violent and very volatile. It could get crazy, which is going to be a lot of fun. Because it's kind of just losing. Well, once you get back to Because what would I'm trying to remember, what would the market cap be now at 10K? Well, if the market cap was 1 trillion at 53K, half of that is 500 billion. We're at probably like 400 something. So that would be 200 billion. That's where, yeah, that's where the volatility could get really high. It still is a pretty large market cap, but yeah. So let's see here. Let's look at the QQQ. Or let's just the NASDAQ one. It probably goes back farther. I mean, right here, you know, that green dot, a lot of people would be bullish because of that. If it plays out like that one, that was your bottom there. But, you know, .com bubble, this area, I see money flow coming out like that. A lot of what's interesting though for kind of the bullish case, look, I mean your RSIs, every time they've come down and curved back up, they seem to come back up a lot here. Except here, this didn't, you know, it's kind of like here and then it came down farther. Or here, kind of like this area. Money flow is different now, but yeah. I mean the NASDAQ is still down a good amount. I mean, what are we from our... Still down 20%, was down 35 the most, so yeah. Seemed, I mean, RSI splitting, you know, red dot confirmed, kind of looks like Bitcoin and ETH to a certain extent. You know, if we look at, I mean, this argument, the RSIs were splitting as well, and he continued upward. But we're in a recession now. Things could be different this time. Kind of my view on it. I think we've lost a lot of steam, so yeah. How's Zcash doing in all this? How's like your 10-day on this? Yeah, that's the thing too. I almost think you're gonna come down a bit further, maybe 27 or something here. Once you get into the red there in the 10-day. And another thing, guys, I forgot to show you. This is actually really good to know. So I want you to look historically on the 10-day, and it's a time frame barely anyone looks at. You know, look, I mean, you came into the red December 17th, about a month later, perfect time to buy. Came into the red here, December 7th, about a month later, perfect time to buy. So 5 weeks from now would bring us towards beginning of October. So maybe October is a great accumulation month. If we do have that drop off, you know, we're at, you know, 10 to 12K in October or something, 13K there, great accumulation period. And then, you know, maybe it's that same scenario where Bitcoin outperforms everything else on the way back up for the first 6 months to a year, buy a bunch of Bitcoin then, convert it over to Ethereum 6 months and altcoin 6 months. So that's what we have to look at. I would be definitely waiting for accumulation. See what happens with this. See what happens with this. That's what I will say. Because here, as soon as you got back into the green, you were good. You know, it wasn't the best place to buy, but you were good, you know, long term. You're not dealing with any more 50% corrections. Over here, when you got into the red, you were dealing with the possibility of something bad happening. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. Optimistically, it does seem like we're getting into that really good buying place really soon. It does seem like that. Ooh. Excuse me. And the other thing too, monthly, you know, usually once you confirm a green candle on the Heikkens, and I think it's going to be, you know, I mean, how many was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're already in. Jeez. But you kind of, if you count these, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about 12, about a year. Just like this one, I believe it was probably a year. So I could just go with my measuring tool. So we got 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. December, yeah, it would be December, the same type of thing. 12 bars, so that would be your bottom. And then if your bottom is, you know, like this one as well, this was less, so 10 bars. So we're in 8 right now. 2 more months would be October being the bottom. So yeah. Yeah, October 1st. So that general area. So that would make a lot of sense. Let's see here. Um, Late 2020. Yeah, it would be rough. I don't think the odds are very high another Google user of that happening, but that would be, your case for 5K, 7K. Now the odds of that happening probably only 5%, maybe like a little over 8 or a little over 5%, like 8% or something. But let's see. Hash rate looks scammy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 9K, that area, yeah. That's, yeah, Michael Burry. So, Michael Berry, so, or is it? Yeah, Berry. The thing with that is, look, I mean, he got it right in The Big Short. It's unlikely for somebody to always be right. I tend to agree with Dalio. I mean, cash is still trash. Now, do you guys think, let's say he's like Michael Berry's very bearish on everything except imprisonment and mental health. So he's, extremely negative. He's like a doomsdayer at this point. I mean, I know some doomsdayers. Oof. I know some doomsdayers, guys. Believe me, and he sounds like one of them almost. But the thing with cash, though, I mean, I'd rather be in gold than in silver. I mean, I do have cash, but that's mainly just, spending money, for my yachts and my Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bugattis, hanging out with Carl from the moon in Dubai, my baby yacht to attach to my major yacht. That's what I use cash for. My mansions, my $400 million mansions, $100 million shoes, that type of stuff. But other than that, I mean, I think the real reason to, if you're really a doomsdayer right now, would be to be in, I mean, physical or ETFs. You guys as people have different opinions on it, but this guy right here where I circled gold and silver right there, see, that's really what performs extremely well in these circumstances historically. I mean, we don't know about Bitcoin yet. It hasn't been around long enough, but gold. So yeah. ApeCoin. Expect the unexpected. Yeah, almost an oxymoron. So yeah, I think that's a good thing to realize there. Guys, thank you guys so much for showing up. 76 viewers. Smash the like button. So that was, that's the Nasdaq. I mean, I tend to agree that we're going to come down. We do have the impending, dollar crisis, those type of things as well. So I wouldn't be all cash, but things that I think will outperform the dollar things that I think will outperform the dollar and outperform the S&P 500 in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Gold, silver, probably oil. Oil a little less confident on, but probably oil. Everybody's already talked about oil, so what are the odds you're gonna? I mean, the thing that no one's really talking about is probably gold and silver, precious metals. Everyone's given up on it, so that would be the main thing I'm looking at. As well as those three main things. I mean, cotton, commodity type of things. Everybody already knows. Used cars are through the roof. Everybody knows about that. So I feel like you're kind of buying that from the people selling it who already got their big returns on it. So that's what I'm looking at there. Excuse me. So yeah, it could be, we could be in for a rough time. Some people are bullish, some people are bearish. Let's see what you guys think. Let's do a poll here. Will Bitcoin ever go below I don't know what to ask you guys. Go below 50, let's do 14K again. It is, Mateo. It is. That's why I think things like gold and silver will potentially do well. Now, the problem with gold and silver, the main thing is it's kind of like figuring out, when to buy it. Because if we look at gold, gold, let's look at gold in '08, let's look at previous, recessions. It crashes with everything in the beginning, kind of. So if it's like this, you're going to come down like probably 30. It would probably be 30% from here if we play out like this. So 1400, you'd probably have a good place to get in it at 1400 if you could get maybe some limit orders there. But I don't think in the grand scheme of things, it came up a lot here. I mean, so even if you got in over here, you still got you doubled your money in the matter of 4 years. Now, that's not a lot. We're used to crypto gains, but if you're comparing it to S&P 500, you quadrupled your shares or whatever. You outperformed it by quite a bit. Now, over here in this recession, oh wow, this is wild. With gold here, I believe, 69 or whatever before, it would probably be 20%. So 20-30% downward. Let's say it's 20% downward. Yeah, you already got there, so yeah, not too bad. And then if we draw, a fib level or something, hitting that point, I mean, if you crash down that area, get to that fib level with everything else 30% downward, just hold on to it. Just hold on to it. So it crashes with everything else. And then we look at, probably the Great Depression. Do we even have data on that? Wow, we don't have enough data on that. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is wild. This is even on log. This is wild. I believe it was here, right? Crashes with everything else, then does extremely well. So crash is about only 10%. That's nothing, and then does well. Yeah. I have looked at let's look at silver, because I have silver too. I think silver is probably, if history is any indication, will outperform gold. Will do better. But you probably there's risk in that. It's kind of like Ethereum. Look right here. 60% down. Yeah, it's volatile. It's a volatile puppy. I don't think it's going to be that bad if we crash everything else, but yeah, there is that potential to come down there and continue forward. I didn't even know everybody talks about 1970s gold going up, but what about silver? 3,000%. That's crypto numbers. But from 68, this area 30. This was interesting. 50%. Yeah, it would be here if you do get that crash. 50, 30. Yeah. Around here. So yeah, could crash with everything else, towards the end of the year or something, then does better, then outperforms S&P 500 for the next 5 to 10 years. So yeah, that's the main thing I'm looking at there. That's if history repeats itself. Now, what are we looking at for Bitcoin right now? A little bullish, not too much happening. Very sideways, as you kind of expect on a Sunday, where people are doing more normal things. So yeah. Thank you so much, Johnny. Yeah. Yes, because of the 14. Yeah, 60-40. Gold chart is beautiful. Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know the hash ribbon indicator. I will say that it does, based on my analysis, I'm indifferent on that. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't make me more bullish, doesn't make me more bearish. I have enough indicators right now. I mean, if I'm looking at every single indicator, I would, never have enough time. I'd be on the computer 20 hours a day. They'll start to print money again. Yeah, I mean, people say they'll start to print money again. If they want to avoid a dollar crisis, they may not. Like, the Fed right now, I feel like this is how clueless, they are. They don't know what to do, which is obvious. Most people have no clue what to do. Most politicians have no clue what to do. Most people working 9-to-5 jobs have no clue what to do. Most people who have been president have no clue what to do. 99.9 or probably 98% of people have no clue what to do. The Fed is just doing what they've historically done during high inflation times, because they know historically that's what's happened. World War II, 1970s. Raise rates until you get inflation under control, and then everything turns out okay for the most part. That's what they're trying to bank on. So I think they're going to keep raising rates, especially since prices of consumer goods still seem to be gradually coming up. Now, we've got it under control a little bit with the CPI, but I'm not really buying that. I think it's going to be higher in September, which is what a lot of people do think. Why does the little bounce look like it could be over? So split RSI's an hourly, 4 hour VWAP curving down, and 15-minute money flow crossover into the red. When is the best day to buy crypto? I believe for Monday, it's Mondays is best for Bitcoin, Friday best for Ethereum. I mean, it's pretty minuscule though. What day you buy it? Yeah, I don't know enough about this, but what we'll do to those, I couldn't tell you. What is that? Yeah, we've just been sideways here. If for more short term, I mean, you could say an ascending wedge right here. We are in somewhat from this area, kind of ascending wedge, I guess. Traditional TA, and then here. Yeah, I would probably do it from. I mean, this is just short term, like triangle or whatever. This wedge, and then where would your technical target be? Somewhere like this, probably from there to there. That would bring you back down to that general area. If you break upward, this would probably bring you right up to where we're looking at. Yeah, right up to this pocket. So, kind of depends. Not the biggest traditional TA guy, but sometimes it does work. I do look at the moon cycle occasionally. Don't worry, I'm not crazy. But this was interesting. If it does play out like that, kind of after this one, you come up a little bit. But that's interesting. After you did have your move down here, not really. A little bit higher than the new moon. What we could kind of derive from this, yeah, most of the time you do get a little pump after these. Here it was bearish. The thing though, even with the split RSI's red dot, and then no. Kind of like, yeah, you can't even. But the new moon, that's the one. Some people only care about the new moons and the full moon. The new moon is the next thing that's going to pop up in August 27th, I believe. That, if we pump up, maybe double top pattern at 25 or something. Some people have said 26 is possible. That's a while to be so range bound, though, between 20K and 25. That's a while to be that range bound. It is possible, though. I think, it's just generally going to trend downward, though. What I will tell you in terms of people thinking about doomsday, thinking about that, I mean, I am going to Costa Rica on September 15th, and see how I like it there. They're doing a new tax. If you live there, save a lot of money in taxes. If you have a business and you live there and you're an American citizen, it is not very expensive to live there pretty nicely for not much money. And I would save a lot of money in taxes if I moved there. A lot. Well, good amount. What is up, Crypto Yacht, my boy? Yeah. Yeah, you guys are probably right. Just all bottom signals, yeah. Yeah, we're going to the moon, guys. We're going to 100%. Yeah. Where's what time frame are you trying to see Oh, yeah, if this comes down, red dot, and then you're going to get yeah. What's up, Delta 9? Have you been Crypto Yacht? Carson Ransom. Yeah. Crypto Yacht, where do you think price is going? You more bullish? You more bearish? Crypto Yacht? What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking, Crypto Yacht? Yeah, I mean, this is looking like everything else. It is, Let's look at actually Microsoft. This is where, see, kind of like that. See, the RSIs came up and then back down. Money flow at the same. This is like the only one that looks kind of exactly the same as the .com. Yeah, Microsoft looks no bueno. 66% downward. Really, the Great Recession is what killed that, not the... It would make sense. That wouldn't even be that. It's only 3 years back in time. That's not even that bad, really. Because the recessions do bring you quite a few, 4 years back, yeah. This don't look good. That's what I was saying. Microsoft don't look good. This would probably be, I mean, the biggest one I would be looking to short right now. You could have another pump up to here, yeah, to wick out a lot of people, but yeah. And the Dixie too. I mean, the main thing, I guess, if Michael Berry is right about this, and I believe CryptoFace agrees with this too, the last times we've been this high with the money flow in the Dixie, at least in these scenarios, see, up a lot more. Of course, this one didn't in 15, here, 19 didn't. But in recessions, this area, when the recession started, came up quite a bit more. And here, there, came up quite a bit more. So there's an argument to bring us up to this area or something, It's kind of wild if you come with that, huh? I mean, we're due to have the money flow come higher in this. Yeah. Let's see here. Real estate. This is another one that's more bearish in my opinion. It should come down. I mean, I think it obviously depends where you're buying, but nice rejection off of this fib level. I think that weekly is so due to come into the red. I think you're going to come probably down to this area, 78 or something. So in terms of that would make a lot of sense. A healthy correction for the housing market. If most $1 million homes and condos come down to be worth around 700K, that would make a lot of sense. They would still be kind of up from what they were a few years ago. Yeah, come down back 4 years in time. That would even be more of a mild recession, really, because you came back 12 years on the S&P 500. To come back 4 years in time, that's not that much, really. Yeah, around here, 78. Probably some good deals because you could probably get, another 20% down. So if something that's worth $1 million right now that would sell for $1 million would sell for 800, that would be pretty good. Maybe even less. I mean, if you could, because I'm thinking like if you're buying like a luxury condo in say, Miami, 1,600 square feet or something in downtown Miami would probably run you at least like 900 to $1 million. Now, if that goes down to 700-800, that would be a pretty good area. That's what I would be looking to get if we get to this point. That's a big point. Now, how long would that take? You're looking at probably for a bottom out for a recession, March 2023. Now, if anyone knows I believe real estate, does it take longer or to really, price to factor in for buying an actual home or a condo? I don't know. Forget like how it, where was 08 here? We got to go back a little bit. Let's go on the monthly. Did it bottom out with... Yeah, kind of the same area. I don't know I think it took longer for the actual houses to come back, you know what I mean? So you got time, if we bottom out around here, you got some time. This was wild though. How much did this? Yeah, that's down 77, and then the actual value of houses only really came down like 30%. So maybe you come down even more here. The main view is that it can't be as bad as 08 because we have all these protections in to prevent that from happening, but we'll see. Bullish. Crypto yacht is bullish. Okay, man. Crypto yacht is not traded all year. That's good. That's a Chad right there. That's a Chad. That's how Chad trades. You just relax. Late to stream, but nothing goes straight up or straight down. I think yeah, okay. this is. I don't know, Mo. Could rally a little bit more. Yeah, there's that argument. Could come up. We haven't talked about ETH too much today. There's that. There's areas where, you come down a little bit and you come back up. Back here would be, because what did we already come down now? We came down, that was 34%. We probably came down at least 25 so far. 24. So 24%. Then you come back up 50. Could happen for the merge and then you come down. That is one possibility. I don't think that's going to happen, at least from what I'm seeing right now. I don't think. It seems more bearish to me, but we will see. You would have to really compare it to that area in terms of, well, kind of like this too. I mean, if it's like something like this got choppy, yeah, could be choppy a little bit. That was down and then it came up 200% there. That was still in the bull run though. I mean, that was in the mania phase. Nobody was raising no rates back then. What is, okay, your chart. I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that on a stream, but if you post it in the Discord, Antonio, I'd be happy to take a look if I have a chance. Or, yeah, post on one of the channels. I'm sure that a lot of people would like what you have to say on it. What do you think, Akul? What's your latest view? Yeah, you need a drink if we go that low. Let's see here. You guys smash the like button, see if we get a few more likes in. How about was it Lockheed? Yeah, Lockheed Martin. This has been everything's been coming up a little bit, but there's a market cap on this, 100 billion. Kind of like there, kind of like 11. How much I'm just trying to think what happened with this. Down 50, yeah, with everything else. And then if, wars and stuff, you would think this would come up theoretically. It's one to maybe keep an eye on. I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now, though. Excuse me. Let's see what else is. I mean, yeah, again, maybe around, yeah, if you come back up to 23, 24K for Bitcoin, you come up here and then come back down. This, I feel like, is, I mean, even Elon's selling it. I mean, this, I feel like, is just kind of just so close to an all-time high right now. I mean, what did Tesla correct to? Yeah, 50% downward, yeah. I mean, when something like this corrects 50%. I mean, if it's let's say it's another 50% from here, that's that area, 480. That would be a big area, I would say, to look definitely for long term. I would say that's, 60% downward. Would Tesla, I mean, you would need probably a bad recession to come down 75%, yeah. Yeah, this looks pretty textbook. Just reject off up 50%. Yeah, 100 billion market cap. What I'm looking at, weekly back in the red, 2 week. We want to wait till this gets in the red. If we could get this in the red, like here, that's recessionary, like 08, kind of like that. It could be another 47. If it's 47% down from here, 120, yeah, something like that. Maybe this area even. That'd bring us back about 8 years. Maybe here though. And then you'd have a $50 billion market cap. Probably a good buy at that point. Let's see if we just got a notification for something. Was it ETH? What happened here? No, Nothing really. 15-minute in the probably in the red again. Okay, very choppy right now. I mean, what else crashed that we should look at? I mean, what was it? PayPal. Yeah, that 2 week I'd be waiting to come into the red. Maybe one more yellow X, then come down. April 2023 around here. That would be whoa. Nah, 5 years. I mean, these are usually you come back this amount of years in recessions, guys. I mean, $42, something like that. $50 billion market cap, yeah. What else here? What else? Oh, yeah. Meta, oh yeah, they changed even the ticker. Same deal, 2 week trying to come into the red here. Back to 2016. Maybe a good shot at 2017. That's a 5 year back in time. It's points. I mean, $250 billion market cap, yeah. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it definitely is possible, Carson. Blood diamond to appear again on the weekly for Bitcoin you're talking about? Let's see. Yeah, that was a good sell signal right there. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that, bro. That could happen. Yeah. Yeah, that could definitely give us some, and it would. That's the first time it ever happened was that time right there. Now, I believe on regular candles did it happen before? No, not even on regulars. So yeah, let's see what it gave us. Okay, from our local before you got a confirmed green hike in, 60% downward. I would say best case scenario if you get that, you'd probably come down 30%. This closes in 6 hours, so it'd probably be in the next one. So if we're at, what are we at right now? We're at about 21,400. If you come down half of that, 30% would be 1450. Yeah, could bring you down 40% at least. It would be unlikely to bring you down the exact amount, but what it could bring you down is either 30, 40%, or maybe even worse. Maybe even something wilder. That's 70%. That's 6,000 now, but yeah. That could happen. There's a good shot at that. Cool. Good shot at that. Good eye. Good eye. Be a good ball player. Good batter. Interesting. That's a good point. Blue chips to DCA into right now. I would say just Bitcoin right now because Billy Bob, just Bitcoin right at the moment because everything else seems like it will continue to bleed against it, even Ethereum since it's been up so much. Unless with the merge, there's more hype, but not seeing it right now. We could look at Matic. I know someone mentioned Matic. Yeah, I mean, if it's like this area, down a lot, guys. I didn't even read. Yeah, it went to 30 cents. It's wild. I'd say like 15 would probably be worse. What's 15? 80%? Yeah, 20, 15, 20. If you come down 80% from there, yeah. What was I know this one crashed at some point. Ooh, this is a rough one. Yeah, you roll over one more yellow X, $44, $5 billion market cap or something around these points. Back in time, about 5 years. Makes sense. This one, I know somebody who's got a decent amount of this. This one's a weird one. This don't do nothing. This don't. Yeah, this is a weird one. I don't know. Not even gonna bother with that. How about Allstate? Monthly has not been in the red for a while, right here. Ooh, that was it. Because if you repeat, this type of, that's down 70%. That'd be a while to come back. It would probably hold up around here, 59 or something. But yeah, I mean, this has been up. I mean, what is this up since in the last 10 years? 3x, yeah, 300%. That 2 week. Yeah, that's so due. We are so overdue for a recession here. Last 2 times we looked like this. RSI is currently, yeah, it looks similar to that. Similar to that point. Ooh, that'd be rough. Maybe just like this, though. Maybe just 70%. That would be so rough if that crashes that much. I wonder what the catalyst would be. Yeah, if nobody's buying cars, nobody can afford them, nobody's driving, lack of transportation, less need for insurance. Yeah. Everyone's favorite token, XRP, yeah. Kind of like here. Yeah, if you come to, yeah, I mean, hate to say it, but I mean, worst case scenario for a lot of 70, 80%, you're coming down at 11 cents or something. I mean, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of people have been holding on to this for many years now. 60% down from that point. I mean, reality transurfing right now. I will check that out. I've heard of that book. I've heard people talk about it. Hopefully we form a bullish dip in the weekly. That would be a good point where we have bottomed. Yeah, that'd be a good point to signal bottom. Wow, a lot of people have left. 52 viewers right now. Yeah, you guys don't care about the stocks. I'm probably gonna get off in a minute, guys. So yeah. Chill stream. Hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. Not too much else to kind of look at the moment. Let's take one last look at Bitcoin. Continuing to do nothing as expected. Either going to break up or break down here. My guess is down. The 3-day, shout out to another Google user at 3-day, blood diamond there. Not the best look. All right, guys. By the way, again, if you want to trade, if you're an experienced trader, check out my link to BITGET below. For the first 10 users that sign up, really good promo. You only have to deposit a small amount of money. So yeah, check that out. And then for the first 100 people, really good promo as well. Only with my link below, I believe. Even if you already have an account, just create a new account, you can still get it. So yeah, check that out. And let's see what else is below. My trading course, if you guys are new, you want to learn how I trade, how I interpret market cipher. A lot of people have really liked the course, so check it out. Link in the description below. And then check out my other links down below as well. All right, guys, have a good one. Goodbye.